And for more analysis on the situation, we now move on to Mark Summers in our newsroom. Mark.
Thank you very much, Ronnie. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. We are now joined from Cairo by international relations expert Ahmed El-Anani. Thank you very much for being here with us on Q News. So in light of the current ceasefire in Gaza and the new diplomatic initiatives, how would you describe the real situation on the ground today, both in political terms and in terms of security for civilians?
Greetings to you and to the viewers, and let me say that the Israeli side is being evidently more and more stubborn, and the mediators want to head for working to settle this dispute for good. It's true that the agreement was signed in Cairo with assurances from all mediators and from the United States of America as one of the sponsors to this agreement. But what we are seeing from the Israeli side is a lot of stallment for different reasons, as the far-right government is still placing more and more obstacles. And the mediators understand that very well, and that's why Cairo is moving to document the deal with Doha and the United States of America for fast solution to move to the second phase. There are some technicalities that the Israeli side is holding as excuses. We're talking about a very important point here, which is a civilian governance for Gaza, and this ruling civilian entity will be responsible for the reconstruction and for distributing aid and for rebuilding the infrastructure once again. And here Cairo is looking for the humanitarian aspect and for the humanitarian international law. When there was a ceasefire, they agreed to withdraw from the from the yellow line, but so far the Israeli side stated that they will open the key crossing from the north, but this is not enough. There must be more aid entering Gaza from different roads, as the roads are severely damaged and all the infrastructure is severely damaged, and it is very difficult to provide any kind of security for the Gazan civilians. And that's why Egypt is now coordinating with the mediators and pressuring the United States as a sponsor to this agreement to pressure the Israeli side directly to complete the second phase of the agreement. And as I have stated earlier, we're talking about civilians running Gaza. The Egyptian side and the Qatari side as well want to engage the Palestinian Authority, and Egypt has trained several Palestinian forces, which is the legitimate power able to join the international forces to secure the Gaza Strip and to ensure the completion of the second phase of the agreement, and also to draw a line between the Israeli side, which is attacking Gaza exactly as before, and with these forces deployed, this will be a separation between Israel and Gaza. So accelerating the humanitarian aid entrance and the completion of the deal when it comes to the most important point, especially related to the disarming Hamas and providing a safe exit to Hamas members and engaging the technocrat and the specialists and experts so that life can go back to normal for the Strip.
Yes, and you're talking about governance there. There is a growing talk about an international stabilization security force and, of course, the transitional governance body for Gaza. What are the main scenarios you see for who actually governs Gaza over the coming years?
Could you please repeat the question?
Yes, of course. We're talking about governance. There's talk of an international stabilization security force, and you were mentioning a governance body for Gaza. What are the main scenarios that you see for who actually governs Gaza? Yeah, I believe you're having a few difficulties hearing the question. We're talking about who you think will be responsible for the governance of Gaza in the coming few years, in the short term, especially with talk of an international stabilization force, a security force that's going to go in, and this transitional governance body for Gaza.
Is the pertaining to the security assurance in Gaza? Is it the question?
Yes, indeed. That is exactly what I'm asking you about. The talk of an international stabilization security force and also the transitional governance body for Gaza. What scenarios do you foresee?
To security, I think, of course, that will be engaging international forces to preserve the security of the strip. And with the civil power that is going to run the strip, it has certain parameters and elements to as priorities, which is preserving security in the strip, as well as the rebuilding the infrastructure. What the mediators want for now is something very essential, which is entering the humanitarian aid and rebuilding the infrastructure. The points and the stipulated in the agreement are very important when it comes to these items. These items might have some intersections where they meet, where the United States meet with the Israeli side, with some preservation from the Palestinian Authority. And that's why Egypt is working very hard to bridge these gaps and to accelerate the completion of the second phase, so that Israel does not have the chance to stall the implementation of the deal further. And there must be some positive responses when it comes to disarming Hamas and the next day and the governance of Gaza. And there must be a temporary government in Gaza or an administration with all Palestinian factions represented, a Palestinian consensus, and also engaging the Palestinian Authority as a legitimate representative is highly essential, as it is represented in the United Nations. With the completion of this phase, I think Egypt, Qatar, and the United States will be able to stop Israel from stalling the deal further, and or providing any empty excuses about the disarmament of Hamas or withdrawing from certain points. The points were very clear when it comes to the yellow line and the withdrawal process. This must happen as soon as possible, in line with the phase 2 and what has been agreed upon.